Hello friend, welcome to all of you. This online lecture of Business Economics, SEM 4, and we are looking here chapter number 1, Money, and under that 1.4, Value of Money and the Quantity Theory of Money. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the Fisher Quantity Theory of Money, and we also discussed some assumption of theory and the diagram. So there are two approaches of quantity theory of money: transaction approach explained by the classical economics Fisher, and the classical approach explained by the Cambridge economists Marshall, Pugh and Robertson. So Fisher is the person who given first about his opinion about how the value of money is decided, and he explained his view in his book The Purchasing Power of Money in 1911. He expressed his view in the equation of exchange form. So according to the Irving Fisher, the value of money decide the demand for money and supply of money. In the particular period of time, demand for money is constant, so supply of money is important and decide the value of money. His famous statement is that when the other things remain unchanged and constant, quantity of money circulation increase, the price level also increases direct proportion, and value of money decrease in vice versa. So in short, according to Fisher theory, if the quantity of money become double, price level will also become double and value of money become half. And on the other hand, when the quantity of money reduce half, price level also become half and the value of money become twice or the double. The Fisher quantity theory of money is based on the first function or important function of money is the money used for medium of exchange. He given that as per the goods, the money supply and the demand for money decide the value of money. The supply of money is decided two components, M and V. M means money supply, V means velocity of money supply. So M multiply V is equal to the total supply of money, and demand for money is a two component decide. The price level means P and T means total value of transaction. So how many goods you want to purchase, the quantity T and price level of that goods multiplication is decide how much money is demanded. So MV equal to PT, this equation given by the Fisher in his theory, which is we looking in our previous lecture in detail. Assumption of this theory: he assumed that the P is a passive factor and element, P passive factor and not affect to the other factor. He assumed that the total value of trade and transaction constant and independent, and also the other factor are the independent like M, M dash, P and V dash. The proportion of M and M dash is constant, so change in M means money supply, the change in the credit money. So assume that bank money and legal money is the same, not a change. The velocity of legal money and velocity of the credit money also constant and independent, and change with their legal money and the bank money. So velocity of money and velocity of bank money constant and independent according to Fisher. This theory is applicable in long run according to Fisher. The next assumption of his theory, he assumed that the money is used only for medium of exchange because P is a passive factor. Next assumption, it is assumed that the demand for money is proportional to the value of transaction, and the full employment is assumed for his analysis. The next is the supply of money is assumed as an exogenously determined constant. So supply of money is a particular period of time constant, but other time the demand is constant and supply of money decide the value of money. Quantity theory of money, he explained with one diagram. So there is the two part of the diagram. Part A is there is the money supply and price level is the mention, and part B the value of money and the quantity of money is the mention. A double of quantity of money M will be lead to the double of price level. Since change in the quantity of money are assumed that independent autonomous, price level change and quantity of money become a change cause of change in the price level. So quantity of money change, the price level also change. So therefore change in value of money. So this diagram is divided in two parts, A and B panel. A panel is explained here the relation between the price level and money supply, and 45-degree angle line OP is mentioned the direct relation between the price level and money supply. When money supply become double, OM to OM4, the price level also become OP to P4, and the value of money is become 1/4 when the money supply become M4. OM2 to OM4 money supply increase, that time the value of money is reduced for 1 to 1/4. So there is an inverse relation between the quantity of money and the value of money shown in this diagram, the curve. This curve is suggests the value of money falls when the money supply and price level increases. So last time these things we have discussed. Today in this lecture we discuss the criticism on the Fisher's quantity theory. He assumed the unrealistic assumption. According to Keynes, unrealistic assumption of full employment, which is a special situation and there is no full employment. The normal situation of capitalistic economy is the underemployment. The Fisher neglect the short-term factors influence on money supply M and the price level P. The quantity of money and price level no direct and proportionate relation according to economics. So there is unrealistic assumption taken by the Fisher according to economics. Next, the criticism on the equation. In reality, the velocity of money V is not constant, but the Fisher says that it is a constant. Velocity means money, how many times circulate in economy. It is a velocity, it is not a constant according to economics. M and M dash not a constant, and the proportionate change according to situation of inflation and deflation is not constant. So legal money and credit money is not constant, it is changed according to situation of inflation and deflation, and it is also effect from the changes in P. The supply of money M change or rise, the price level P is also rise, the rise in volume of trade. P is the active factor, but Fisher assume it is the passive factor. So it is a active factor according to economics, and it is influence on the volume of trade, means T. So M is determined by P, and change in P is cause of the change in M effect. Thus the M dash, V dash or T means the legal money, credit money, velocity of legal money, velocity of credit money, and total volume transaction are not independent of each other, and change in any of one influence to the price level. Next, critics of this theory, other thing is not equal. So other thing will be changed. There is a change in the population, there is change in the habit of the people, the change in demand, direct and proportionate relation between the quantity of money of price level Fisher based on assumption of other thing remain unchanged. In real life, other thing means the velocity of money, velocity of credit money, total volume of goods and services transaction not a constant. Neglect the store value of function. He consider only one function of money, it is a medium of exchange, but there is a other function is also important. Money is used for the store of value. We can store our wealth and asset in money form. It is neglect the Fisher's theory. The next is the static nature. This theory nature is static nature. When the other thing is constant, the P is the constant, T is the constant, P is the passive factor. So many things constant. So Fisher theory is static because unrealistic assumption according to economics. So then neglect of interest rate. The neglect of the role of rate of interest as one of the critics on his theory. It is one of the important factor between to money and price supply. Fisher's equation related to the equilibrium situation in which rate of interest is independent and quantity of money. So he neglect the rate of interest effect in his theory according to economist. Difficult to measure V. V means the velocity of money, and it is difficult to measure the how many times the unit of money is circulating in economy. So economists have no instrument with the help of which they can measure the change in velocity accurately. So this is the critics of apply to Fisher's quantity theory. Next, other critics on his theory, the general theory of value. They explaining the value of commodity can also extend it analysis value of money with the demand and supply. There is no annuity thing or any new thing explained by the Fisher, because like similarly goods and services price decide their demand and supply. Similarly, the value of money decide their demand for money and supply money. So there is a general explanation of his theory according to economics. The theory neglects the velocity of circulation of commodity. Commodity also circulate in economy once to second, second to third. This is the neglect in theory. The theory no light on the element of V, means velocity of money, or any other factor that determine it, how the velocity of money is decided. Quantity theory is not a comprehensive theory. It is the only few things explanation theory, not a comprehensive theory according to economics. Thus, there is no separate theory needed because already we know that the price of goods and services decide demand and supply. Similarly, value of money decide as per their demand and supply. So there is no separate theory needed. So it is redundant and unnecessary according to economics. So summary of this lecture, what we learned: the term of value of money means purchasing power of money. We can express in equation form VM is equal to 1 upon V. Value of money means purchasing power, how many goods you can purchase with the money. It's decided the purchasing power and value of money. The American economics Irving Fisher explained his theory in the book of the purchasing power of money in 1911, and he expressed his theory in the equation form and equation of exchange. Fisher version of quantity theory is dependent upon money acts as a medium of exchange, and like other commodity, price level or the value of money is determine the demand and supply of money. He given his equation P is equal to mv plus n dash v dash upon t. So some of the critics we looking at the unrealistic assumption. He neglect the rate of interest. His theory is applicable to the long run. He neglect the short run and says so many things constant, and there is no innovative thing and new thing explained. It is a general thing explained by the Keynes according to economics. So here end the Irving Fisher's quantity theory of money. So thank you for watching this video. You can refer for this point M.N. Jingan macroeconomic theory in the publication book, or you can also use the R.J. Rasa, S.P. Ada, Kapdi, Gotekar, Business Economics, same 4 Prashant publication book, Jalgaon. It's available in library and also available online for your study purpose. So thank you. The assignment question on this point: write a short note on what is the value of money, give assumption of quantity theory of money, and explain the Fisher quantity theory of value of money in detail for 15 marks. So this is the assignment question for you: the value of money, assumption of quantity theory of money, and explain Fisher's quantity theory of value of money. Thank you for watching this video. Next time we will be looking cash balance approach, last video and last lecture in the chapter of money. Thank you.